Populations and Resources Unit, Lesson 3.2, Competition in Ecosystems, Activity 2, Rereading Jelly Population Explosion. Scientists claim that a change to the sardine population caused the jelly population to increase, but the sardines are not the jelly's resource population or consumer population. This is represented in the diagram. It shows that the jelly population and sardine population are not directly connected. As you read, I would like you to pay special attention to this diagram to see how it helps you understand how the sardine population could have affected the jelly population. Students actively reread the article Jelly Population Explosion, final section, Competition for Food. Investigation question. What can affect the size of a population besides its resource or consumer populations? What is the relationship between the sardines and jellies? They eat the same food, zooplankton. How did a change to the sardine population in North Benguela cause the jelly population to increase? The sardines in North Benguela decreased due to overfishing. If there are fewer sardines, they will eat less of the zooplankton. This leaves more zooplankton for the jellies. With more energy storage molecules from a larger zooplankton population, the jelly population can reproduce more, leading to more births than deaths, and the population will increase. The article gave information about a population in an ecosystem that can change the size of another population even though it is not its consumer or resource population. Competition. When two or more populations use the same resource, such as the same food source. When we're talking about competition in this class, we may use the word compete. For example, lions and hyenas compete for zebras. Outside of the ecosystem context, you might think of a competition in a different way. Sports teams compete against one another and try to win games. When ecologists say competition, they do not mean that organisms are physically fighting one another. It simply means that they use the same resource, like eating the same food or living in the same territory. In this class, we will focus on competition for food. Indirect effect. The result of one cause leading to an effect that causes one or more other effects. A direct effect is when one thing leads to another. For example, when an increase in a resource population leads to an increase in its consumer population. An indirect effect is when one thing leads to another, and that change leads to yet another effect. For example, when populations compete for the same resource population, a change in size to one competing population affects the size of the resource population. Then that change to the resource population leads to a change in another competition population. End of activity.